Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium. The second half just underway here in the Battle of the Bledisloe. Second half of the first test, and it's 9-all. The All Blacks 5 metres on the Australian side of halfway, and they're looking towards Michael Jones at the back, who had a lot of treatment at half-time. Here's Zinzan Brook releasing up to Craig Innes, straight across to John Timu, who got a fair bit of work in the first pass, and he got straight past Campo, and Zinzan Brook is right there. The ball is in touch, though. Well, that's a good psychological boost for John Timu in the second half. Pushed his way past Campese.
Earl Curtin, former All Black, how do you read it at the half-time break? Tell us.
I think the last 10 minutes was certainly Australians in that first half. Their scrum is stronger. I think New Zealand is still winning lineouts, and I think they will play at a pace in this second half, and I expect them to win the last 15 minutes.
Kearns goes in, mops it up for the Australians. His liner inside is 22, kicking it straight down towards Timu. Well taken by Timu, quickly releases up to Wright. Now the field opens up here for Terry Wright, angling it away. Is he kicked it too far? No, he's done it well. What a good kick from Terry Wright.
Yes, he spiralled it away, and he thought too.
Skillful player, we all know that. Man who scored over 100 tries for Auckland, having his first test match at fullback today and making a great job of it.
But New Zealand have to pin Australia down in this quarter. They've got to win this line out to put real pressure on. Most important time, 10 minutes in this half. Always the first 10 minutes, very important. They've lost it.
What a take from John Eales, number 5. The 21-year-old in the middle of the line-out took that brilliantly. Australia trying to drive off Eales, but they're not making much progress. In fact, I think the All Blacks might have shoved them back a metre or two. Now let's see which way this goes. Well, yeah, look at that. All Blacks will get this put in. Eales might have taken it, but the All Blacks got better body positions, drove him back, and get the put in. So here is a good opportunity. All Blacks seem to be keener to move the ball, Earl.
I think it'll go to Kerwin. No, they've come off from the blind side. That might change it.
Kerwin's going to chase.
It's too far.
Well, wait for the bounce. Dangerous bounce. Throwback gets it. The old footy ball. You've got to wait till it bounces.
But not only that, can Edgerton stand in front of the fullback like that? Deliberately stand in front to shepherd you getting at the ball taker. Interpretation would vary. I'd say he can't.
You're onto this referee today, Earl, aren't you?
Oh, they worry me. They're going to be the most important facet in our game the next 6 months, particularly if we're going to compete with that other game.
All Blacks couldn't control that one. Andy Earl lost it, and maybe it's in there with the Australians, although it looks like the All Blacks might have it in. Oh, Richard Lowe, yes, he's got it contained in there. 10 metres on the Australian side of halfway. All Blacks edge it up a couple of metres. Here they go, the big black machine. This is marvellous stuff. Fantastic. Where's the ball? 5 metres out from the 22. Kerwin went in, played halfback. Walter Little looking for a gap. Tried to pop it up for Innes. Innes knocked it on. So the Australians get a little bit of breathing space here, playing advantage to referee. Now Liner changing the direction. Here comes Edgerton. Right back for the All Blacks.
Well, there wouldn't have been many fullbacks that would have beaten Edgerton to that ball, but Wright's one of them. Well, there's excessive pace.
Lovely kick by Michael Liner, once again changing the direction of play. And here's Edgerton, and he's full on. Look at that. And Terry Wright. A long run for Terry Wright, and he managed to mop it up.
Bob Dwyer said in the paper this morning that Terry Wright's the fastest player in the world, so I think we saw a very good example of that then.
Okay, then 4 minutes gone in the second half. No change. The Aussies go back onto the attack. 9-all's the score.
Deep to the palm by Eales, who's coming into his own of it in the last couple of line-outs in the second half. Opa Hingawe tidies up. Who's got the pill? It's there for Nick Farr-Jones. Away to line of the droppy. No, kicking it wide towards Campese. Right plucks it out of the sky. Zinzan Brook breaking away. Bash him up. Fox clears. Hard tackle on Fox. Was it called late? No, referee Mixon was there and had a look. John Eales got across there. When he gets the big legs moving, he was the one that caught Fox from the tackle. And he's quite mobile, the big guy.
Oh, he's very athletic for a young man, isn't he?
That's him, number 5.
He's 20. He's a good player in the air, too. What a great player he'll be for Australia over the next 4 or 5 years, particularly when he gets a bit more stamina and heightens up a little.
Heightens up a little, eh? You think he's still growing, this guy?
No, I really meant bulks up a bit.
All right, there he is up again. John Eales, Far Jones, line up. Horan, Jones is across. Michael Jones, we worried about him at half-time with all that tape on his boot. It was re-examined by David Abercrombie. And here's a chance for Australia to have the lead. Richard Lowe is penalised. Midfield, 35 metres out. So, worry time for New Zealand. Let's look again. Richard Lowe there. Let's look and see what happened there. It was off the ground. What's the problem?
Well, he's not on his feet, basically, when he's mooring it away. But, I mean, they shouldn't all either be crashed in like that when they're not bound. They dived in onto the deck for a start. This is what happens. And this is why I worry about refereeing.
Comment from Andy Hayden.
Yes, interesting game developing here. We saw most of the last 10 minutes of the first half, the Australians down in the All Black end. Well, we're watching most of the time down towards the left of our screen because that wind is quite significant. Up high, hard to cover the ball for a fullback, so there's going to be a few bombs go up on the Australian shortly, I think. Enough ball going the All Black way. I think overall the Aussies are playing a good game, but the All Blacks are starting to get a little bit of momentum up. A few mistakes have probably cost them dearly, though.
Time gone, second half, 7 minutes. 9-all at half-time. A chance for Australia to take the lead for the first time. No probs. No worries. They're in the lead. Look at Bob Boyce, son there, loving it. As Australia are in the lead by 12 points to 9. 2 penalties and a conversion by Michael Lynagh. He missed that first kick, remember. And Australia in the lead by 3. Don't forget the One Network news will be after the completion of the rugby. The live rugby goes through to its conclusion today. And we've got a lot of football to come. Gary Wetton at halfway. I guess he's got to keep in mind the big picture. That this is a little aberration, if you like, to have lost the lead. The New Zealand captain will be trying to keep his troops calm and keeping to the program that they've pre-planned. But for the moment, New Zealand are behind.
Box just makes it to the 10-metre line where it's taken by Poiderman for the Australians. All Blacks getting there quickly and driving nice and low. It's coming, I think, though, for Far Jones. No. So 12 points to 9. The All Blacks got away to a good start with Ian Jones getting a try. But the Aussies came straight back. Tim Gavin, or maybe Phil Kearns. We'll say Gavin at this stage. It was 9-all at half-time. It's now 12-9. Gavin tried to take it out. Bishop's offside a mile.
Yeah, there's a point there, though. He had his hands down, therefore trying to pick the ball up, and it wasn't bound. And the moment he takes his hands away from a bound position, and it's well described in the law book, basically the scrum is finished, and Bishop was entitled to have a go at him.
Okay, he wasn't offside.
You make your point, Earl. Earl Curtin is waving dismissive gestures around the commentary box here. You're not a happy chap, are you, Earl?
I like consistency in refereeing, otherwise it makes it difficult.
Gary Wetton shouts the instructions from number 2. Alex Wiley looks no different now than he did at the start of the game. Zinzan showing the signs of battle. That's a beautiful take by Ian Jones. A vital line-out win by the big fella from North Auckland. He stretched up there, cleaned out John Eales, and the All Blacks go back via this man, Grant Fox, to halfway. Well, line-outs have been a marvellous contest. But the Aussies get to throw in this time. That is significant because, as Andy Hayden said, the line-outs have basically been going with the throws. Not going to happen this time. There's a bit of shoving, though. Referee playing advantage here. It's going to be a penalty against the All Blacks.
There was a lot of yelling, too, in the shoving.
It's life in the jungle, isn't it, Earl, those lineouts?
Oh, that's why, I mean, I think it gets to a stage where you let a lot of it go because they're both doing it. It becomes an arbitrary decision who you're going to ping. I said earlier there is hot on lineouts, but I mean, to be still giving away penalties at this stage ruins the game.
Liner passed up the opportunity there to have a shot at goal, which is maybe an indication. Look at the pushing there. And you can see Eales went out. So it maybe indicates that there is some quite considerable breeze down there, favouring the All Blacks in the second spell. Fitzpatrick looking towards the back. Play on, says the referee. Bashop clears, and clears very well indeed. Good little kick by Graham Bashop. Andy Hayden right down there in front by the lineouts. A pretty interesting battle going on, Andy.
Yes, it is an interesting battle. The Australians have shortened their line out quite often because the All Blacks have got 3 jumping loose forwards, and in fact everyone in the line out apart from Lowe is a jumper. The Australians are probably looking for just their 3 main jumpers.
They got another one there. Far Jones down the touchline for John Timu. Oh, and he's skied it into the middle of the field. Now this could be nasty. Taken by Jason Little across to Liner. Liner with a wiper's kick. And what a kick. Well, a mistake made by John Timu. He kicked it off the side of his boot. And it opened up here for Liner to enable him to drive it across field. And end over end it went. Terry Wright couldn't save it. And Australia continued to attack.
Yes, well, Australia have the advantage at 12-9. We've gone past that 10-minute period, and they scored in it. New Zealand haven't. We're going to have a big effort at the end of it.
Kearns throws. Another vital line out. Australia have it. Kearns carries on. Surging on the Australian side. Poitevin has it in there. Trying to organise his forwards. Only 3 or 4 metres short of the line. Still going. All Blacks desperate to try and snuff this out. Far Jones says go blindside. No try. Well, that was awesome power from the Australian forward pack. They've got a penalty out of it.
I don't know what wide. He's saying that they came around offside. We have no option when it's rolling. Have a look at this.
Here's the drive by Kearns.
Well, who was offside there?
Or it might have been Offengawe who took it up. Now the referee is unsighted. He's just pointing away to the left there. Now the Australians swing it away as we see it to the right. Get very close to the line. Referee says no, there's no try. Then he goes back to give a penalty to the Australians. Far Jones marshalling the troops as Michael Liner lines up another penalty attempt. It's 12-9 at the moment. Liner has so far kicked 2 penalties. And for the moment anyway, the All Blacks are on the back foot. So Liner from wide out. Oh, he's pushed it away in front. Little to force. All Blacks breathe again. 12 points to 9 the score. And 14 minutes now gone in the second half.
New Zealand on the back foot, all right. Fox kicks out. Stay with us. Don't give up on them yet. It's a slender margin. A try would put New Zealand back in the lead. They bustle up to the 10-metre mark now. Australia in possession. That Australian pack has worked very well in the second half, and this is the kind of play. Poitevin, the guy who's retired 4 times from rugby, but keeps coming back because he loves it so much, gets them to this good position. Wright coming forward. Timu there.
That was a good take by Timu. Very hard ball to take, over your head. Going back, pitched up, he got up into the air and took it very cleanly.
The crowd here is rising in confidence. Australia in the lead by 3. Anything could happen. It's come to Far Jones. Liner. Horan trying to find the loose man. Far Jones again. Kerwin, who's not been in the game a lot, threw on Edgerton there. There's big JK number 14.
Now look at him down on the ground there, that Australian player in. It had to be.
Yeah, the referee agrees with you, Earl.
Thank goodness for that. The down stacks on the mill all day long.
Back go the Australians. Poitevin really going well here. The 32-year-old veteran. He was the first Wallaby to make 50 test matches. Was their record holder for a while. And Campese went past him while he was having one of his retirements. But the lure of the World Cup and these battles against New Zealand have brought Simon Poitevin back into the game. And he just loves the heat of battle. Remember his tremendous titanic struggles with Wayne Shelford. News after the rugby, remember. New Zealand down to the 10-metre mark. High tension here, live rugby, Sydney Football Stadium, the Bledisloe Cup, the first leg. Far Jones.
Not straight.
Not straight, and the barging still goes on.
Time gone is 80 minutes, second half. Basham looked away to the right. There's something on. They might chance the run, have a little move. Kerwin. You love that blindside, Earl, don't you?
Oh, yes, but you need a way. It'd be better if you had a wider blind than that. I like that first 5-8 running it. That's the big thing, to keep those big chaps in.
There it is, the blind side. Matchup away to Kerwin, and he hasn't had many confrontations with Edgerton. He really got the better of that one too, didn't he? Edgerton doesn't like the tackles on the big guy. Kearns to throw. Kerry Fitzgerald, who refereed the first World Cup final 4 years ago, watching in the background. You notice that sometimes the touch judges change over during the half here. And here's another penalty for Australia. And that's where we bring in expert commentator Earl Curtin.
No, that was justified. New Zealand certainly went over. I think it was Richard Lowe who went straight across.
It's Patrick, perhaps.
Patrick.
That was a hard one to take because it was into the sun. Well caught by John Kerwin. Very hard catch. You see how he's standing in the little shadow there, and Fox made the clearance. Not much of the ground is in sunlight anymore, but just down that little corridor there on the right wing side where Kerwin plays. 20 lineouts to 13. Australia certainly have the advantage. There they've got another one. Awkward for Far Jones. Straight out to Tim Horan. Horan makes the dart. Michael Jones cleaned him out from behind. They're trying to keep it off the deck. Far Jones running left. It's a 4-on-2. Roebuck. Campese was intercepted by Fox. Basham. And now that is poor old Graham Basham. He's kicked the ball out in the full there. I wondered whether he was going to make an attacking kick there, and he certainly had that intention. He's very good at them, but it sailed out on the full. And so that little counter-attacking chance comes to a halt. 12-9. 2 tries in the game. 1 to Ian Jones. 1 to Tim Gavin. Liner a conversion and 2 penalties. Fox a conversion and 1 penalty. 12-9. A tight test match. Live rugby at Sydney Football Stadium. The action continues.
All Blacks win a line out. Spin it across into the arms of Innes, who likes to kick on that left boot. And well taken by Roebuck. And he in turn drives it back. Lovely take by Walter Little. And does he get it out? Yes. 12 points to 9. Halfway through the second half now. 20 minutes remaining. Let's go to sideline Sam Andy Hayden.
A lot of the play, the territory is being taken from possession, and we've seen the Australians getting too much possession in the last 10 minutes, and the All Blacks needing to up their tempo a little bit because they're running out of time here.
All Blacks penalised inside the 10-metre circle when Wright hit it ahead, and the Aussies have decided to take the scrum where Wright kicked it on the fly, and so it's a scrum across on the far side of the field. Michael Jones seems to be running okay on that ankle injury that he received in the first half.
It's a sign of confidence, isn't it, that they've taken the scrum up there?
Far Jones a bit disturbed about something. He's having a yarn with Kerry Fitzgerald. Well, that's nice, isn't it?
Well, that's terrible. If Far Jones can look straight a comment from the referee. No, he took no notice, so he should.
Yeah, that's well without outside the spirit of the game to be yarning to the man like that. Held in the back by Gavin. He's going to release it to Far Jones. He does. Up to Liner into the gap. Trouble here for the All Blacks. Liner well taken right near the 22. All Blacks have to get back in defence here quickly. Here they come. Horan. Oh, well tackled again. Jason Little in there to try and tidy up. All Blacks would love to win this second phase ball. Not sure they can, though. Australia still in possession. All Blacks getting back slowly. 20 metres out from the All Black line. It's trapped in there. What a lovely move that was. Michael Liner was clear.
There's a nice run by Liner. Grand tackle by Cohen. Now let's see if the Australians play one of their righto moves, or their moves to the right of the scrum here.
Jason Little back into position. The 20-year-old, 20 years of age, playing in his 9th Test match. What an attacking position here for the Australians. Well, Far Jones rather gave the show away there. The scrum collapsed. He went away to the right, and it was some sort of flash move on the right-hand side of the scrum. Let's see if they change it. All Blacks have been referee playing advantage here. Gavin holding out. Now Far Jones, away he goes. Tried to pass it away. The referee still playing advantage. It's going to be a penalty, I think, against the All Blacks. It is.
What's that mean? Taking the scrum down, do you think?
I think that's what he's telling the players out there. So here is a gift really for Michael Liner. 15 points to 9. This will make it. And it'll be about 17 minutes out in the game. So the All Blacks have got a lot of work to do. This match coming to you live on One World of Sport. And don't forget, One Network News will follow the game, which is now at a vital stage. Bob Dwyer back to his seat as Liner has this one placed right in front. Guided through by Michael Liner. 3 penalty goals for him today. And there is the score. A 6-point advantage for the Australian team with about 17 minutes left in this match.
Well, the All Blacks have got it all to do. They've really got to get in and start winning possession. They must win this kick-off and drive into the Australian 22. So it's got to be a pinpoint kick by Fox for a start.
All the work ahead of the All Blacks. 16 minutes left in this game.
Fox kicks it short. McCall is waiting. Up go the hands, taken in by the Australian pack. Kearns has had a superb game. They've worked very well in the second half, the Aussies, especially up front. Far-Jones. Back to Campese. Long kick by Campese, and that's worth 40 metres. Last time Australians will see him in action today. He's going to retire, and after the World Cup, going to live in Italy. But the new young Turks are coming through in other positions. John Eales behind him, Willie Offahingawe. 5 metres, New Zealand's side of halfway. Brook at halfway, supported by Ian Jones. Basher finds Fox. Innes's pass went to the deck. Timber was over there. Timber going backwards now, 10-metre mark. Australia are on a roll here, but New Zealand have broken away. It was Kerwin in midfield. Now Craig Innes, Zinzad Brook came inside. 10-metre mark. Scratched back. Basham, McDowell. Richard Lowe. The line-up out to the right. Fox kicking wide. Roebuck safe.
Well, that was a fat passage of play where I think Fox has to, or should have kept on moving it across the pitch. They've got to run at Australia now, particularly in their own half. They've got to get into the Australian half and then run at them.
Andy Hayden's on the sideline. Andy, come in.
Yeah, the Australians are getting too much possession. The All Blacks now have to win more ball. Their scrum is operating a lot better than it was before. The All Blacks, I think, have been struggling at scrum time for the last 20 minutes, but I see the last scrum was a little bit better for the All Blacks. Line out time, much more ball required from the All Blacks, and they, as you said, they have to run at the opposition. We've got two non-tackling wingers. Well, we've got Kerwin could beat his man. Timu is not going to be tackled by his man, so it's stupid not to get the ball right out to them as quick as we can. We haven't been doing that.
Bob Dwyer talking to Peter Slattery in case he has to come into the game. Remember, Nick Farr-Jones has not completed a test match in 1991. He went off against Wales and against England, and he's been off in other state matches as well. Tense time. New Zealand must score twice to get the lead, so they're playing beat the clock. Lost from Jones to Gavin, and there's Liner drilling it again. An awkward bounce. Edgerton got the bounce, and that's the game breaker. Rob Edgerton in under the posts. It's a 10-point gap. Games can twist and turn on the bounce of the rugby ball, and here's another example. It was partially charged down, I believe. Yes, it deflected, I think, off Andy Earl's arm. It's a lottery here when the ball bounces. A very high bounce. Edgerton had the speed, and a lucky break gives Australia a 10-point lead. There's Rob Edgerton, the non-tackling winger he may be, but he's a try scorer there. With a lucky break, they've gone to 10 points up, and the kick is to come. Crisis all of a sudden for New Zealand.
Yes, Kerwin had it covered, but he had the way on, and as he hit Kerwin was stationary, and he ripped it out of his arms and round. Very hard ground, as you can see. Great shape, that rugby ball, isn't it, for some?
There's Kerwin. He looked like he was having it. Might have just gone away from it at the last moment, but certainly Edgerton, a good piece of skillful chasing, got the bounce, got the catch, and away he went. Here it comes again. Kerwin never really looked like he was going to get it on that view, and that's interesting.
Andrew Hayden was saying before, but down there that wind blows it away that last couple of feet from him. They found it very hard to take the ball. England did last week too, if you don't remember.
Edgerton's second try in test matches. The conversion is over. It's 21-9. I think that's the same score that was in the third test at Athletic Park last August, and Australia won that one too, folks. Time to go is 12 minutes, second half.
12 minutes for the All Blacks to get back into this one. Sean Fitzpatrick right on halfway. And can't win the line out, but Jones has got through and snaffled it. All Blacks really have to fire it around now. Fox across to Little. Here comes Innes. No, Little leaves him out. Right into the gap. Now the chase is on for Kerwin. Wright was smacked to the ground as he kicked it. But they've got down towards the 22. They need to keep it in hand, I think, now. Just 11.5 minutes remaining in this game. Australia have outscored them 2 tries to 1. No hurry now for Phil Kearns.
No, all they've got to do, Australia, is win line-outs. And if they do that, New Zealand are going to find it very difficult.
Wasn't thrown straight, so the All Blacks get a good break here. They can mount something here if they can hit back quickly. It has to be pretty quick, though. So they'll call a move, I'm sure, in the backs. Basham to feed.
It's interesting, Innes has gone to second 5-8.
Now Fox, here's Innes. Who are they looking for? Kerwin. Innes through. Got to his feet and went again. All Blacks desperate now. Taken on a couple of metres. Release it quickly. Basham. Zinzan's going to have a run close to the ruck. They need a bit more than one off the ruck.
Yes, the rest of those New Zealand forwards are very slow to get to that.
So the scrum right in centre field. Daly's not down on the far side. He is now. Brook delivers up for Basham, straight across to Innes. Innes well held, right in centre field. All Blacks want it again. No, they've lost it forward.
Never touched his hand at all. He kicked it forward. Hit his boot and went forward.
Opportunity gone for the All Blacks. Under 10 minutes remaining in the game. 21 points to 9. Far Jones. Liner will clear here. Bangs it straight down to Kerwin though. So the big fella gets up steam. Has support with him there. 10 metres out from the 22. Basham takes it out. Swings it across into centre field where Innes is waiting. All Blacks trying to control the ball, and it's been ruled a knock on against the All Blacks.
But what you really want when you're clearing it away quickly from there is to get it wide, not to go back inside all the time.
Gavin to pull it off the back. No, Basham got round there. Australia still have it on their side. Andy Earl perilously close to being offside, and it's going to be a kick this time by Edgerton. Not Edgerton, it's Roebuck. Too far. Well, don't forget, at the end of this game, we'll give you the Ubik's most valuable player for the All Blacks, that is. They're struggling now, I think, to get up and win this game, though. 8.5 minutes remaining. 21 points to 9.
No, they're playing for pride, I'd say now, because Australia just have to keep belting it out.
They have to score twice and convert both tries, even to draw the game. Here's Innes again. Into Tivu now. Terry Wright ranging wide. Trying to get away from Campo, who makes a good tackle. Good tackler when he's chasing from behind Campese. Not so good front on. And that was a good tackle on Terry Wright. The All Blacks endeavouring to move it wide. The first time, really, we've seen Terry Wright ranging outside the wing that he does so effectively for Auckland. But Campese hung on well and made the tackle. All Blacks hammer away 20 metres out from the line. 8 minutes to go in the game.
Down towards the back. It's Nick Farr-Jones makes the hurried clearance. A penalty for New Zealand. Here's a difficult decision for Gary Wetton. I think they'll take the points from the penalty. If Fox can get it through the post quickly, that just closes that gap a little. Time ticks away. New Zealand are trying to beat the clock, because they're down. They're deep in debt here. 21 to 9. And this will help, but only a wee bit. They've still got to score twice after this goes over.
Yes, they're trying to play sevens, and they're going to have to play sevens to win this game. To be realistic, it would be almost impossible at this time.
Chips it through. The gap is closed now. 21 to 12 is the score. Let's hear from Andy Hayden on the sideline. How do you see it now, Andy?
I think the All Blacks can still win it. It's a big ask, but they can still win it with a bit of possession and running the ball wide. They've got them on the outside. They must pass it through their back line. It's just a bit of a pity that they've left their run so late. It was unfortunate with that bad bounce at Kerwin over the far side with Edgerton running onto the ball. That's put them out of range, but the All Blacks are starting to look a little bit better with a bit more urgency.
The try by Edgerton may be the game breaker. The time crunch is 6 minutes to play. It's 21 to 12.
Roebuck restarting from halfway. The All Blacks want to win this one and control it. They have through Andy Earl. Now they've got to make something of it. 12 metres on their own side of halfway. Trying to suck a few of the Australian fringes in. But sooner or later they're going to have to give it away to the backs and ask them to do the job. Edging up towards halfway. Simon Poitevin in there making it very difficult. Now it's going to come for Basham. Here's Fox. Cross to Little. Innes running strongly again. Can't get it back in field. Fox tries to pick it up and knocks it on. It's all over the place. And it was a knock on firstly by the All Blacks. And And so Australia have a scrum. 10 metres on the All Black side of halfway. 5.5 minutes left in this game. Gavin off the back. Far Jones challenged by Brook. Got a nice little kick away down to Terry Wright.
Yes, well, that's all Australia have to do. New Zealand have now got to run out from their 25. But it's still been an absorbing game, even though New Zealand look as if they'll be lucky to win. It's been an excellent game. Tremendous tension, tremendous pressure, and a lot of good football.
Not much in it between these two sides. Chapter 2, remember, the Battle of the Bledisloe, Eden Park in 2 weeks' time, live on One World of Sport. Meantime, Australia win another line-out. Far Jones up to Liner, thinks about a drop kick. Couldn't get it onto his right boot. Skies it across into centre field where the All Blacks have got to win it. Edgerton wins it again. That's a vital take by Rob Edgerton. But he wouldn't let it go. So the All Blacks have got to take this quickly. They have. Gary Wetton charges up the middle. Releases for Steve McDowell. He runs straight into Willie O. Getting almost to halfway now. Basham up to Fox. Walter Little. Looking for his captain, but it's been snaffled away again. Once again, though, the Australians have infringed. Desperation here from the All Blacks. 21 points to 12. Basham across to Little. Fires an awful pass as he stumbles to the ground.
Yes, when he fell over.
Tapped ahead by John Timu. Could be good here if Timu could recover that. It was knocked on by Liner. One Network News follows the game, which now has about 3 minutes and 35 seconds to run. 21-12 Australia leads.
What we need here is a game breaker. Have we got one?
They've taken the quick tap. The Aussies weren't back 10. What does referee Maxon say? He's letting play run on. Basham wide to Little. Fumble by Kerwin, and that would just about be it, I think, folks. It was looking promising. Out wide, the pass was low, a difficult one. But it spilled forward from the big guy. And down goes a chance for New Zealand out wide.
Yes, he was under the gap.
There they go, working. Every inch is as good as a mile in a situation like this when they're playing with the ball and the time is ticking away. Back to Liner from Far Jones. The world record equaling partnership in well-oiled condition there, and they've been the architects of the Australian victory this afternoon on the field and in the goal-kicking stakes. Michael Liner just missed that first shot at goal, has landed the ball since. 21-12. The All Blacks are breathing hard at this line-out. Just 2.5 minutes to go. Taken in by Earl. McDowell over the top. Basham. Fox. Innes. Kerwin in midfield. Gets away from Poitevin. Michael Jones on his shoulder. 45 metres out. Spinning again. Terry Wright up. Oh, he's hitting a good tackle by Campese. The ball jolted away. Walter Little. Innes. Desperate situations mean desperate measures. Roebuck waiting. Cool and calm.
Yes, well, that's the game, isn't it, mate? It's an exciting finish. Just cannot win the ball and didn't win enough. And Fox is going to blame himself, being the harsh taskmaster that he is, that he didn't kick those 2 penalties. But heavens, how many times has he done it for us in the past? Driving it back again.
Well, the Aussies are well and truly on top today. Well and truly on top, 21-9. The seconds tick away. There they are, the combination that's begun for Australia back in 84. Far Jones and Liner. A minute to go. Deep to Michael Jones. Earl. And Basham makes a little fumble, but there was a knock-on before that at line-out time, so Australia will play with the ball in the last seconds of the game. Well, New Zealand has given us tremendous victories over the years, so we've got to take the lumps, Earl Curtin.
No, that's true, but what a great game it's been. It's been competitive. And you have to say, well, the bounce did go Australia's way, but they've played well too.
Liner with the drop kick. Terry Wright plucks it down. Wright trying to build up from the back. Horan comes across. penalty for New Zealand. They're going to try and get some points. Are they in the last seconds of the game? The siren will go. Kerwin, the crowd is counting down to 0. It's going to be Australia one leg up in the Bledisloe Cup with a 21-12 scoreline, and this time it's against New Zealand. Basham, desperation in the last seconds of the game. A fumble. The game is over. It's the Australian arms that are raised in triumph. Alex Wiley heads for the dressing sheds. There it is, 21 points to 12. Australia one up, but the second leg is to come in a fortnight in Auckland. Applause ringing around the stadium. Marvellous effort. There are some exhausted young athletes out there today, and the applause is warm and rich for two fine teams. But Nick Farr-Jones's Australian team have taken the kudos today by 21-12, and there is the New Zealand captain, gracious in defeat. A smile from Witten for Farr-Jones. What a day we've had, Earl.
It's a great day for football. Full stadium, marvellous stadium, great conditions, bounce the ball favouring Australia, and the fact that they won the line-outs, and they deserve to win. I doff my hat to them. Great performance.
Yeah, full marks Australia, 21 points to 12. That says it all. 2 tries to 1. The All Blacks had their opportunities. They made a few mistakes, but the Australians made their own luck today. Campo likes it. 21 points to 12. Australia one up in the Battle of the Bledisloe. Let's go to Peter Williams.
And I'm with a very disappointed New Zealand captain, Gary Witten. Gary, as Australia celebrate, as the Australian team go across to the far side of the field to thank their supporters, what have you got to say about today's disappointment?
It's a disappointment. You know, we thought we'd prepared well on that, and Australia were just too good on the day. You know, we started well. We let them in just near half-time, and the second half, the first 30 minutes, you know, was they shut us out, and they deserved to win. They're rubbing in a bit now, and it's a bit hard to take.
All right, Gary Witten, perhaps we'll get some more from you later. We'll, for the moment, let you go to the dressing room and console your teammates.
Thanks, Peter.
Gary Witten, the very disappointed New Zealand captain. We'll take a break at the Sydney Football Stadium and return very soon. Stadium, and under the stand now we're joined by the All Black coach, Alex Wiley. Alex, 2 losses in a row to Australia now. I guess that must be a source of considerable disappointment. What do you think went wrong today?
Well, I think one of the main things, of course, we didn't win enough ball in line-out. We didn't compete there quite enough. And then in the middle, well, just after half-time, we started to knock on and we made many mistakes. Probably a bit of pressure came on, and that was the result. So, but as far as the other parts of it, there were still some parts of it that were good. We've got a lot to learn on, or to build on now. And the Australians are playing very well. They took it to us, and they got the tries.
And as far as that try that really sealed it, the one by Edgerton, a bit of bad luck perhaps as far as the bounce of the ball was concerned, but still Australia, as far as you're concerned, deserved the win?
Well, I mean, they bounce the ball when the team's playing well, quite often it'll go that way, and they're playing well. You know, we had our opportunities early on. We could have got into a bit of a lead, but it didn't come our way, and you know, that's it.
What is the mood now in the dressing room, bearing in mind that Australia have beaten Wales, England, now New Zealand? What are the guys, do you think, thinking at the moment? Are they absolutely shattered that, gee whiz, it's really hard?
Oh, no, I don't think the difference was that much, other than the fact that, as I say, we didn't take the opportunities, or we made mistakes when we had the opportunity to do something. But, you know, naturally they're a bit down. You've got to expect that, but they'll come back.
A fortnight's time will be a different story, huh?
Well, we'd like to think so. That's what it's about. Good.
Alex Wiley, thank you very much. So a win to Australia in the first test.